Hi Leo, I'm Ronique and welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to your May 2024 tarot reading. This is where we're going to look at the astrological energies of the month of May. Remember, we are coming out of a energy shifting month of April. Remember, we were in eclipse season. We had that huge conjunction with Uranus and Jupiter in the sign of Taurus. And we also were in Mercury retrograde in the sign of Aries. So all of that energy was huge. And I do think that May is kind of like, I call it the fallout month. Not necessarily like fallout like it's the worst thing, but more like you're dealing with what it was that was hidden or that changed in the month of April. So do take a look at the description box below. I have highlighted those April videos for you, and also take a look at the description box below for all of the important dates for May. We do have Pluto retrograding this month. We have a Sagittarius full moon, and we have a Taurus new moon. So those are going to be kind of like the big things happening, but there are some other things that are going to be important. So thank you so much for your likes and subscribes. And if you haven't commented or left me a thumbs up, I would really love if you would. All right, Leo, let's get right into it. Let's see what May holds for you. First week of the month, you do have the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Then you have the Three of Pentacles in the upright. Second week of May finds you with the Knight of Wands, as well as the Queen of Cups. Third week of May, you have the Chariot card. This is Major Arcana in reverse, Cancerian energy there, as well as the Three of Wands. And the last week of May finds you with the Ten of Wands in reverse. And actually, I pulled two cards, which was interesting. One of them is you, the Sun card, and the Justice card. So interesting energy there. I think it's interesting that that Sun card came out because that is you, Leo. So I do think that Spirit is trying to remind you that throughout this month, really highlight what it is that makes you you. Make sure you are having fun, including your family or friends, or, get involved with your community. There is this sense of you feeling really balanced by time you end this month. So just keep that in mind as we move through the course of the month. So really positive there. So you have that Justice card and that Ten of Wands. So let's go through and figure out what is the energy that you are bringing out of April. And this is really big, Leo, because I do feel like whatever energy you bring into the month is definitely going to influence it, right? So let's see, Spirit, what card can you give Leo representing the energies they brought into the month of May? And you have the Hanging Man in reverse. So this is a Major Arcana card. Usually the Hangman is, when it is upright, it's the person upside down, as if they need to look at things in a different way. Possibly they are contemplating a decision. For you, though, it is in the reverse, and which means enlightenment, possibly seeing things now in a different way, and you're actually ready to move forward in a different direction. I think this is really huge for you, Leo, especially after that huge April. I do think that many of you all possibly had some events that could have occurred around that Scorpio full moon, could have occurred during eclipse season or Mercury retrograde, of where you could change things up, move from a different vantage point, or see things from a different vantage point. So I think that's really big for you this month, Leo. So really pay attention to where it is that you can think through things differently and see a different vantage point. I think you're going to be a lot more successful in whatever you do. Okay, so keep that in mind. Spirit, if you can send Leo an oracle card for the month of May. And you have light. I will tell you that I believe Libra just got this same card. It was either Libra or Aries. So if you have any placements in Libra or in Aries take a look at their reading, and I was letting them know that this light card I think is one of the most beautiful cards because it symbolizes where is it in your life that you need to be a little more happy, but also where is it that you need to let more light into yourself, right? So where is it that you can get out into nature more? Where is it that you can look at things from a much brighter vantage point? And I do think you getting that Sun card, which is your card, coming out into this light is going to be very easy for you, Leo. You are one of those signs that thrive in the sun. And so I do think this is going to be a major component of your May. And I do think, Leo, as you move throughout the month, if you're feeling like, someone is dulling your shine or you're not able to move the way that you would like to, you may need to look at it from a different vantage point and figure out, do you need to move on to a different job or a different community, whatever that looks like, okay? So I'm looking over the cards and I can already see that in that first week of the month, it looks like you are at your job or possibly learning some type of new maybe certification, or you're trying to get a certification, but many of you all are contemplating whether or not you want to continue in this field of study. Really keep that in mind, because as you move through the month, I can see with this Knight of Wands, you are already action oriented. You are ready to get something done. And by the time you move to this third week of the month, you're strategizing on which direction to take, okay? Three of Wands and Chariot. The Chariot is that card of whether you are feeling like you are on the right path. And I do feel like that Hangman in reverse is like, look at things in a different way as you're strategizing. And then you end the month with that Justice card, that Libra energy, and 10 of Wands, both in reverse. So you're sensing that there is an ending coming. I do think that many of you all are going to look at things now differently, so that instead of looking at this negatively, you're like, you know what, this may be a good thing. It may be a good thing that I'm leaving this company, for example. So keep those things in mind as you're going through the month of May, Leo, okay? So you do start off the month with we left April with Mars moving into the sign of Aries on the 30th. So for some people, this is going to be a really great time to get some type of courage, okay, to move forward with some goals. I do think that instead of you worrying about your finances or your money anymore, many of you all could be taking up a new certification, or you could be going back to school, or you could be leaving another you may be leaving one job to go search for another opportunity. I do think that in that first week, be prepared for Pluto retrograding in Aquarius, and then we have a Taurus New Moon on the 7th. Much fixed energy there, right? You have that Taurus New Moon, you have that Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, and then you all are a fixed sign. Don't be too stubborn, okay? I just heard that. Don't be too stubborn with that 5 of Pentacles and thinking, okay, well, that might not make me as much money as I want, or don't just only have your eyes on one thing. That Hangman in reverse is reminding you, look at everything with a different vantage point. And I do think that that light card is going to be, how can you have more fun? How can you enjoy yourself more? By the time you get to that second week of May, we now have Mercury leaving its retrograde shadow on the 13th. And then we have the Sun conjunct Uranus on the 13th. And then the Sun is conjunct Jupiter on the 18th. This is an activation, you all. This is a great benefic news could come in around your resources. And you are like rearing to go. Like whatever this information is, I do think that someone of higher importance. And when I say importance, it doesn't necessarily mean like your boss. It could be a motherly figure, or it could be someone who you respect. It feels like some type of information reaches you that you're like, okay, I am ready to go. So be prepared for that benefic news, possibly that second to third week of May, when we do have Sun conjunct Uranus and the Sun conjunct Jupiter. So I do think that's going to be an activation of that great conjunction we had back in April. So now once we get to the third week of May, we're now having the sun enter Gemini. Once the sun enters Gemini, Leo, many of us are going to have a much more mentally like intellectual conversations. It's going to be a lot easier to communicate with people. And that Three of Wands is like you are strategizing and thinking new ways to move through a process. I do think that Chariot card in reverse is suggesting you're wondering if you're on the right path, and Spirit wants to tell you that you are. You are on the right path. It may just look a different way. Remember that Hangman in reverse is like, look at things differently, Leo. Look at things differently, okay? And lastly, once we end the month, we do have that Sagittarius full moon on the 23rd, fellow fire sign for you all. So that could be a really enlightening full moon for you all. You may realize it's time to go on a different path or explore some type of new option. There does feel like you are feeling like something could be a little unjust, whether this is at work or in your community, but Spirit is reminding you to stay on the light side of things. Don't get sucked into what didn't work or this was unfair. I do think that that sun card, that light card is reminding you, you have all the power that you need, Leo. I mean, for God's sakes, you all are Leo. You all are one of the most powerful signs of this zodiac. So the sun card is like, you got this, okay? Even if some bumps in the road come up, you got this, okay? So I hope this was helpful for you. Drop me a comment below. Let me know what you're looking forward to in the month of May. All right, Leo, I'll talk to you later.